And up next, I'd like to invite Nir Yechial from Red Hat, nowadays a part of the IBM empire. And Nir is going to talk to us about a very interesting open source called Submariner and about multi-cluster networking for Kubernetes. So with that, hey Nir, glad to have you with us.
Hey,
say hi to the audience. Yeah. And we'll get back to you. I'll play the recorded one, and then we'll get back to you for Q&A. So guys, if you have questions, do fire up. Thank you.
Hi everyone, and welcome to my Ignite session about Submariner, multi-cluster networking for Kubernetes. My name is Nir, and I'm working for Red Hat as an engineering manager. So, we're here to talk about Kubernetes. Let's assume that you're the Kubernetes admin for your organization, and you really want to be happy and to make your developers happy. And you're presented with the following challenge. If you want to go multi-cloud or hybrid cloud and support different Kubernetes clusters across different environments, like public clouds or on-prem, bare metal, it really could be any form or shape of Kubernetes. And in order to really implement a true multi-cloud approach, you need some level of connectivity between those, and you are not happy. So we're here to help with Submariner, which is really a means to create a fabric of connectivity between the different clusters. So what is Submariner? Submariner enables direct network connectivity between different Kubernetes clusters. It really exposes a set of CRDs or extending the Kubernetes API, and it's a truly open source vendor neutral project. There is some contribution from Red Hat, but we also work with Rancher, Fujitsu, IBM, and different companies. It can be deployed fairly easily using an operator. We also have Helm charts or Subcatl, which is a command line tool we built to ease deployment of Submariner. So just to get the basics of what we're doing, this is what a networking looks like for one Kubernetes cluster. It's essentially pod IP networking, service discovery, load balancing, network policy. All of those objects are only known to be working for one single cluster. Submariner is really about taking those concepts and extending them and making them multi-cluster aware, so that we can enable IP networking and pod networking between different clusters. Similarly, DNS and service discovery and things like network policy. Some common use cases, and there are many, so just to give some examples, are for applications availability, for disaster recovery, and for data location and redundancy guidelines. And to give you a very concrete example, here is a CockroachDB, which is just a modern database cluster deployed across 3 different Kubernetes environments. And in this example, these are 3 different regions. And what we're doing here, thanks to Submariner, the CockroachDB components and the different pods can really talk to each other and form one big happy CockroachDB cluster. And this is really useful for high availability and disaster recovery purposes, because now if any of the regions or any of the pods are about to fail, then CockroachDB is going to continue and operate, and the service is going to be up. Some benefits of Submariner. So Submariner enables direct, what we call east-west, pod-to-pod and pod-to-service routing across clusters. It works with any Kubernetes cluster compatible with different network or what's known as CNI plugins. It's not only providing connectivity, but it also tackles service discovery, DNS, and network policy between clusters. And it also improves security because you no longer need to expose all of your backend services to the internet. You can just directly access them between the clusters. And all of the cross-cluster traffic is encrypted by default. We use IPsec, but we also have the option to turn it into WireGuard. And as I mentioned, we have the subcuttle, simple command line tool to ease the deployment and verification of Submariner. All it takes are really 2 commands to try this out. If you want to learn more about Submariner or to try it, please, you're welcome to visit our website. We have pretty much up-to-date documentation and quick start guides for the different Kubernetes distros. As I said before, all of our code is fully open and stored on GitHub. We also have a YouTube channel with some useful videos, and we have a Slack channel, which is really part of the Kubernetes space. So feel free to reach out to us there if you have any questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nir. I think you're on mute. If you can unmute yourself.
Yes.
Great. Now we can hear you. So thanks a lot for this. By the way, how does that compare to things that we know like Istio and these gangs, K8s and all of that?
Yes, of course. It's essentially a solution which is more infrastructure centric. So we provide kind of L3 connectivity between the different like pods and services, and then it's very easy to set up something like multi-cluster Istio on top of Submariner. Because from a service mesh perspective, like we already provide all their infrastructure, so they can ride on top of Submariner.
Nice. Thanks a lot, Nir, for this fascinating talk. And again, for the audience, Nir will be able to answer more questions on the Discord, so do join us. Thank you very much, Nir.